How's it going, Cypherpunk, Solana, Coliseum? So as an update for this week, our project is around developer tooling using the Arrow API. So the Yatori mobile app is powered, engined by the Arrow API. Everything's on chain. There's no webhooks, no processing. Yet with QR codes and you take two phones and you have someone in Tokyo and they show a QR code and someone in Austin, Texas scans it with their camera and the Yatori app, it goes click. And that's only by WebSockets and listening to the blockchain. So we're launching a Nuxt Ionic template. So I set up like the base of that template, and it's going to be a starter pack for devs to use the Arrow API. So next, I'm going to show how to use the Arrow API, of course, without exposing any keys, best I can. And in addition to that, I also made a Rust serverless proxy WebSocket using a Helios endpoint. So I launched a template for that. We're planning on having a beta and having that Next Ionic template have like different branches. So, we understand some people might want to embed a wallet. So we're looking at Fireblocks and using our Arrow API and having the transaction and QR codes with memos because it's memos that you listen to the blockchain and unique ID. So, we made that template. We made the WebSocket proxy that we know we're going to use, which is Rust built. And next up, over this weekend and next week, we're going to be, putting Soulflare in there so you can just connect to Soulflare deep link one tap like you can in the Utoria app so people can see how that's set up. And then we're going to try a Fireblocks integration. And so the final part is putting those QR codes in, right? So using Arrow API and using the memo transactions and that WebSocket I just talked about building, having that as vanilla, as easy starter template, like trying to get people to clone with as least directions as possible. So the idea is the rest of the Solana community can make these apps in different ways, embedded wallets or connecting to decentralized wallets, and start being able to really rock and roll with mobile development, right? Mobile payments, and in a way where you don't need webhooks, you don't need a ton of money, capital up front. You don't need to be a bank to launch these things. You can be just one developer in your apartment and be able to have a very modern, futuristic payment app running on Solana, decentralized, and be able to launch it all over the world. And what's your throughput? It's however much Arrow API can get you those transactions, and it's also it's Solana's throughput. If you're just listening to the blockchain and everything's just transaction data and there's no webhooks, well, I mean, your throughput is whatever Solana can handle. So giving that power to developers is our plan. And again, we worked on the template. We got to put in Soulflare. We got to make a branch with Fireblocks, and we got to make the QR codes work. So doing that the best we can. This went a little long, but that's about it. Stay tuned.